babes, welcome to Mina Mind Podcast. It's almost Halloween. I feel like spooky season arrived so fast this time. Before even I could understand we passed summer, it was already fall. I feel like the time goes faster nowadays. Do you also feel like it? Because I have also heard from some of my friends that they think the time goes faster. I don't know how though. So let me know if you have any idea about this. Well, spooky season. I love everything about fall. Like how the weather kind of gets chilly during the nights and the leaves that are fallen from trees, usually orange colored. I like wearing sweaters and shorts, feel comfy and cozy at the same time since it's sweater weather. And of course, another thing, obviously, pumpkins start to show everywhere. Every store, coffee house, and supermarket have pumpkin specials all around. Firstly, I want to talk about how tasty pumpkins are. They're really delicious. Like you could put them in every recipe and they would work. You can fry, cook, or bake them to create sweet and salty dishes and even mixed tastes. And of course, there is pumpkin spice latte, which I'm drinking at the moment. It seems like everybody kind of waits for fall to arrive so they could drink pumpkin spice latte. As a sweet, I have a favorite, pumpkin pie. Every year, if I find enough time, I try to bake pumpkin pie. Last year, I could only carve my pumpkins and watch The Nightmare Before Christmas, like every year. It was a nice day for Halloween, but this year I'm all in. I have decorated my house, bought some candles, and I put my jack-o'-lanterns everywhere during the whole October. I have made some of my decorations my own, so if you want to check it out, I will put the video link down in the description so you can look at it. It was really fun. Every year, I try to cherish the seasons even more since I'm evolving with them. There is something about acknowledging the seasonal holidays. When I was little, I never wanted to celebrate traditional holidays. There's nothing much about it. I was just a little girl who didn't want to be involved in the family reunions. Since I was 12, I'm all about Halloween and partly Christmas. I visited USA when I was 12. My cousins lived there. I went to one of my cousin's weddings and I stayed there almost 2 months. When I was there, I would go to Dollar Tree and collect everything which was related to Christmas or Halloween. I have also collected some items from Goodwill as well. I would go there and check everything that were kind of cute for me at the time. So while we were turning back to Turkey, there was this whole baggage which was mostly dedicated to my decorations. When I think about it, it sounds pretty cheesy, but I'm gonna be honest, I love to be a fan of Halloween and spooky season. I feel like this season is where the sweetness and creepy meets. And I would like to say my personality is sweet and creepy at the same time, so you get the deal. I watched my first horror movie when I was 12. It was The Ring, and my journey began. Later on, I was a sucker for any horror movie that I could watch, and I watched a lot. I think I loved watching horror movies. I still do, don't get me wrong. But now it's more difficult for me to bear since I overloaded my brain with horror and thriller. I love the tension of unknown. Horror is usually about where the two worlds meet, reality and the darkness of human being. Darkness. Without darkness, there wouldn't be light. I think the understanding of two opposite sides exist together gave me some excitement. Darkness has a mystery in it. It's never sure until you know where to look at it. It takes courage to challenge thyself to find dark spots inside a soul. And every day is a mystery to unravel these dark spots. I feel like horror becomes a horror when a living lost in the darkness. So let's check out together how Halloween is identified with horror, thriller, and all above. Library of Congress blog says, I will put the references down in the description so you can check it out for more information. Carving pumpkins, trick-or-treating, and wearing scary costumes are some of the time-honored traditions of Halloween. Yet, the Halloween holiday has its roots in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, a pagan religious celebration to welcome the harvest at the end of the summer, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor saints. Soon after, All Saints' Day came to incorporate some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before All Saints' Day was known as All Hallows' Eve and later Halloween. In addition to understand what it means to Celtic traditions, we're going to check it out what the History.com editor said. This day marked the end of the summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to earth. So Samhain is generally about a day where the cycle of the summer ends and winter begins, and death are able to walk on earth. We see all the traditions about Halloween is mostly evolved around this understanding of Samhain. Celtic people would light up bonfires to light the way for souls who is seeking the afterlife. And even today, candles are a big part of Halloween decorations. There is another tradition holds place as carving pumpkins and lighting a candle inside them. They are called jack-o'-lanterns. It's one of the most common activities that takes place during Halloween. It's really fun to carve scary faces on pumpkins or whatever you like to do. It's a creative place, you know. You can just try out whatever you like. On one Halloween, I actually carved my pumpkins and watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, so it became a tradition for me as well. I love the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not only it was a pioneer of the stop-motion movies, but at the same time, Tim Burton's world was so unique that we could see a stingy Jack character like we have never seen before. So I want to talk about more on the stingy Jack character. I will read a part from the Carnegie Museum of Natural History. The most popular version of the tale involves Jack first tricking the devil into changing his form, then trapping him in his transfigured state. Jack then offered the devil out of the deal in exchange for not taking his soul for a long time. Some longer versions of the story have the devil being tricked 3 or 4 times. Eventually, though, time caught up with Jack and he was unable to trick the devil again. Stingy Jack was sentenced to roam the earth for all eternity with nothing but an ember given to him by the devil to light his way. There is also other folklore from this time surrounding what's known as ignis fatuus or false fire. False fire is an actual occurrence, is known as marsh gas and occurs during the spontaneous ignition of methane created by decaying plant matter in marshes or swampy areas. These two legends began to intertwine when many people in the moors of the British Isles saw the naturally occurring marsh gas they attributed to Stingy Jack. In addition, Jack was called Stingy Jack because he tricked the devil to turn himself into a coin in order to not to pay his part of the debt. Stingy Jack's story could be seen as a metaphor for the devil part in humankind. If a person tries to trick the devil and the darkness, they will be only tricking themselves and get lost in an eternal place with just a small source of light. However, the power of light, it shouldn't be underestimated, because when there is light, you would know that there is hope. And hope is a big source for humanity to survive. Coming back to traditions, how the trick or treating developed, there is one theory suggests that during Samhain, people would leave food out to appease the spirits, looking afterlife and walking on the earth. About the costumes, Celtic people would disguise themselves to be separated from the evil spirits and so they wouldn't be left alone. And Halloween is all about orange and black because orange represents the harvest and the black represents the death. It's pretty ironic when we think about the harvest and the death together, because harvest is all about fertility, blessings, and where the earth gives back what she created. Harvest is a creation of humankind and earth together. It's giving, serving, and feeds at the same time. During the whole process of cultivating, humankind feeds, carves, cleans, basically takes care of the earth. So at the end of the process, it's giving. But because it's giving away, maybe it means to take some things away as well. And maybe fertility is mostly matched with death, so the world wouldn't be unbalanced, where it gives away as much as it takes away. As people, we tend to think that wealth is something we always wanted, however, we're scared to have. When there is a season where we are gifted by the earth, we want to give it back so the earth wouldn't be unbalanced. On the other hand, Stingy Jack was lacking the idea of giving. If he would just trust that everything goes away, comes back, maybe he wouldn't be wandering around in the eternal darkness. Obviously, this is all a legend, which means a lot, which tells a lot. Harvest and death existing at the same time, like the darkness and the light. Life is about opposing concepts exist simultaneously. Like Halloween, we welcome darkness because it reminds us how to follow the light when we are lost. Considering the Samhain traditions, I believe that it gives us power to acknowledge that we are able to reach the death, offer them, connect to them. However, it's scary because it's an unknown territory, so we are protecting ourselves by creating traditions around it to be able to hold on to this idea of the spring will come again, earth will serve again, and even though it gets scarier and harder during the long cold season, we will live again. Light up your jack-o'-lanterns, babes, and don't be stingy. Share your light, because when there's all darkness, the earth will serve you with the best source for you. So, thank you for listening to me and spending your time with me. Have a spooky season. Love, Mina.